Welcome to Clock Tower. I'm Brandon, and today we're doing the 8 book build, looking at the Frieren set once again. We're diving right into just another deck, another opportunity to be able to play the game. The 8 book build is not as powerful in my opinion as the 8 pants build, but it has a lot of similar things, a lot of similar themes, and so you can kind of basically play Frieren in just another different way, another way to be able to play the game. So we're trying to play into this level 3 Fern on play heal. When the climax is in play, you have anti-backup in play, so your opponent cannot play backups against you or events, and you also have a pay 1, pitch 1 to burn 2. Both those things are really interesting, so that means there's no counterplay against you. Nobody can actually stop your combo from going off. As long as you have the 7 stock and the additional 3 cards in hand, you can do your combo. Going 3-2, 3-2, 3-2 is interesting, and at least I think is something that's worthwhile to potentially close out games pretty efficiently. To get there, you're also playing into the level 1 combo, the Frieren level 1 book combo. This is a cigarettes combo. So on attack, mill 2, and then you salvage equal to the level of those 2 cards combined. So you can salvage up to whatever that X may be. It also has additional 2k power, so it's 7-5 on attack. Defensively, it only sits 4-5, so it's a bit smaller, so you're not likely to keep the board, but you're likely to at least replace the card with the cigarettes combo itself. So pretty vanilla combos so far, which is perfectly fine. That's kind of what the deck wants to do. You're just trying to synergize your deck is basically what you're trying to do. Really way to do that is with this card here. Whenever you play an event, it gets additional 3k power up to 1 time per turn. So 7k, 8k with climax. Reasonable. On attack, every character gets pay 1 when you trigger a climax to blind stock and then draw 1. And then ditch 1 card from hand. So effectively, you're turning book into a blind stock, draw 2, ditch 1, and you're paying out the book as well. So you're still going that even stock for triggering a card. You're effectively drawing 2, ditching 1, so you can effectively filter out cards in hand or try to get the best kind of cards of what you can get through that as well. So just additional filtration with this kind of card, which I think makes book a little bit more interesting in that way. So, really fantastic card. To really pay with that, we pair into that with the event packaging. You're still playing the event plusing, you're still doing your moving through the deck speeds with that as well. You have the Brainstorm Fern that allows you, when you play an event, to top check rearrange, do it up to 3 times per turn, so you can do it defensively as well. Same thing as before with the book with the 8 pants package. We have the back row Frieren. This allows us to be able to pay out additional climaxes when we trigger climaxes, to look at the top card of the deck, either put it back or put it on the bottom of the deck, and then to be able to then salvage a character when we ditch the climax. So when book draws into book, you can ditch that additional book, turn it into a character, and check the top card of the deck before you blind stock. So interesting synergies there, really interesting, just continue to work well with that. We have the CX swap that is also a bottom deck bomb, so zeros, you can remove the oversized ones pretty quickly. We have the Frieren, we have the Fern that allows us to be able to top check and potentially filter a card into hand, filter a card out of hand, as well as then mill 2, and if there's an event, we can ditch a card to salvage a character. So just a little bit more hand fixing, a little bit more dig through the deck. You can also replace this with like the winter close Frieren. That one allows, yeah, that's a little bit more mill. Also on play, if you don't like the price tag of that one, you could probably go with this and be a little bit better off. But you have some different options here at least. I think this is potentially interesting as a potential double filter, so I run that for that reason. Just because you're trying to, off of the raw plussing that you're getting, turn those cards into the cards you want. We have Flight Magic, once again, our Torch event. Be able to look at 4, choose 1, add it to hand, discard the rest. Offensively and defensively, tools to be able to get cards, move through your deck, etc. We have the Level Down event that also allows us to stock charge. We need 7 stock for our combo, so we may need to occasionally have this available to make sure we have 7 stock ready to go. You can also level down troublesome pieces to be able to do what you need to do. We have our Ricky, pay 1 clock self to search for level 1 or lower character, but also event swap. So because it's able to dual roll there, we run 3 of those in the deck. We do also run the Frieren that also is an event swap that allows us to choose a trait and essentially delete that trait from that character until end of turn. It makes things at least interesting. Having 5 different cards that allow us to event swap allows me to run a little bit leaner packages of events as well, so just kind of having that on play, ready to go, makes things interesting. That's partly why I run that as well. There is the Fern, that's effectively the Bay, right? The pay 1, pitch a character to look at the top 3, add a card to hand, both on play and when it goes to waiting room. So effectively you can do this twice on this card, because book doesn't necessarily guarantee that it's going to have additional climaxes in hand each turn. Being able to do this to make sure you can try to dig for your climax just a little bit more, especially towards the end game. That's why this is here. It also happenstance has anti-marker as well. We have the 2/1 Fern that allows us 2/1 Frieren that allows us to be able to anti-change bomb, bottom deck it, as well as give another character a crazy amount of power, potentially 6k power. So allows us to potentially deal with 2 lanes of board with a single card. That I think is pretty fantastic. That's typically our answer for early plays and whatnot that way. We have the stock wash, probably the best way to describe that, where you stuff the person's stock into their deck and then you put that number of cards back in. So they could still be pretty clean, they could still have a lot of climaxes. It just depends on realistically their deck states, and like you have no real guarantee of like what's in there, if it's clean, if it's dirtied up or whatever. It just makes things a little more interesting. The same kind of idea, we also run the basic magic attack that allows us to burn 3 for paying 4. So if we run a bunch of extra stock, we can use this to either pay out stock or to just get extra instants of damage in. So just having that kind of on hand at least opens up the gameplay there. Our last card being the Hter that allows us to be able to, on attack, pay 1, ditch 2 to search 2 characters and add them to hand. This allows us to potentially, as early as go the first turn going second, to be able to get our level 1 combo into hand from the deck. It has a lot of different flexibilities with this card, especially because you are running a deck that is a bit more varied as to what is going into hand because of all the draw triggers. Having this card allows us to be able to essentially very selectively get the cards we want at certain times. So being able to use this card throughout the game to get pieces like the endgame combo, our level 1 combo, or whatever piece we really need, we can use this to go get it. So that's why it's in this deck. It was one of the cards that got cut from the Pants deck, but you could probably, if you like that here, you might like that there too. So it's at least an interesting card for sure. With that kind of idea in mind, that has been the 8-book build. Record this a little early. Was in Houston this past weekend, so with that kind of idea in mind, we're not going to go super crazy deep into this one, but there should be gameplay for it on Thursday. Probably talk a little bit more about this deck specifically, and then next week will be another clock talk followed by 5 cards 5 minutes. That is the plan. So thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube thing. Until next time, have a good one.